In your headlines, the Premier's delivery unit is well on its way to being implemented, and the Sandals Foundation has launched their compost and grow program. From the PTV Broadcasting Headquarters in Providenciales, your number one source for news, I'm Erica Penales, delivering the latest from across the country this Thursday, July 14th, 2022, right to your door. Newswatch starts now. The Premier's delivery unit has kicked off, and government officials are confident in its implementation. Take a look. This initiative was spearheaded after an observation was made, particularly throughout the Caribbean, where governments would fail to achieve implementing priorities. This delivery unit, as we understand, should sit in the center of government to deliver objectivity and serve the task of delivery in an effective way.
A lot of governments and organizations deliver their projects this way. I think we're probably breaking a little bit of a new ground in the Turks and Caicos. Because it's not something that's been set up before. We've been delivering projects as a government, and I mean government overall, not just our government of the day. But I don't think we haven't been delivering them effectively as we would want it to be, and that's the reason why a lot of the time we would end the financial year with huge surpluses. And part of the year we ended out last year with huge surpluses because of the same reason. Projects wasn't getting done to the level we wanted to get them done. Sometimes you have a huge number of projects, you would get half of them done, or a percentage of them done, but you weren't ending the year with 100% of them being done. Doing it this way is the best way to ensure that you achieve the best return on investment, on the country's investment. So when you start the projects, you're able to bring them to completion. The reason why the list is priority projects is because they're important. They're important to the country. But you don't want to have these projects in the pipeline for years and years and years because you're unable to deliver them and bring them across the finish line. Governments have had a lot of projects like that are half-baked for some reason. And sometimes you just drag on, and teams change, people change, people leave government, new people come in, and no one actually sees it across the finish line. This will ensure that the most amount of projects are able to do that.
Honorable Saunders also added that sometimes projects such as these don't always succeed in the first try. However, that doesn't mean that they're failures.
These things improve over time. You started out someday you put your first foot forward to start to get on this journey, and then you improve over time. So I want to encourage the public to be a little bit patient with it, because as Dr. Rem and I was speaking a little bit earlier, that efficiency comes by you knowing a certain thing. And so when you're on day one, you're going to start off knowing what you know today, well, the best, compared to what you're going to learn, the journey you're going to go on. And so sometimes when you're pressed for time, you may want to instinctively go back and do it the old way, because you're going to think that going the new way is stopping you from being as efficient as possible, because you could have done it within half an hour or a day or whatever. And this is now taking you longer because you're getting up the learning curve. But when you get through it, then you realize that this is the best possible way.
The Deputy Premier said that he wants this project to be remembered as the moment that completely changed the way government does business.
As the Minister of Finance, when they were telling me about the press conference, they said, no, you need to speak to funding. You need to be able to get funding. While I certainly take that, I wanted to say that if a project is priority for the country, and Cabinet has signed off on it, we will make the funding available. I want the country to know that, I've said it before, we're not, at least not for now, we're not a country that's broke. We're doing very, very well. Where we were doing badly was delivering on our projects. And so we have the funding available for the priority projects. We're committed to making that funding available. And now we're putting in the mechanisms to ensure that the country gets the best return on its investment. So I want the country to mark this date down. I think the PS for the Premier started the speech off today by saying that today, the date, the time, and where we were, because she knew instinctively that this is going to be a moment to be marked in history, that we will then look back and think, wow, the government is now delivering for the people a lot better than it was before.
Head of the Public Service and Acting Governor, Her Excellency Anya Williams, also gave her remarks at the press conference, giving her full support to the delivery unit.
Any government of the day, their priority is not only to manage the current operations of a country, but also to deliver on new and improved projects, programs, and policies for the benefit of the people of the Turks and Caicos Islands. As the head of the public service, my responsibility is to ensure that departments across government are equipped with the resources and the structures that are necessary to help the government of the day to deliver on their priorities. We are currently embarking on a number of key projects and priorities across government, those at a very national level that we hope will help to change lives here in the Turks and Caicos Islands. As a part of that, we have to ensure that we have the appropriate resources from concept straight to implementation to ensure that those projects are ably delivered. What we want to ensure by establishing this unit is that those projects do not become a part of ministries and departments' daily normal duties. We want to ensure that they are highlighted, that they're given priority, and that we're able to deliver on them within the time frame that is necessary. And so we welcome the establishment of this unit. We look forward to the work that we're going to be doing through the consultancy over the next few months, but also to establishing a permanent unit in government to ensure that for the lifetime to come, that we can continue to implement new projects for the benefit of the people of the Turks and Caicos Islands. And so we will be working very closely with the Office of the Premier to develop this unit and to ensure that it is a unit that delivers for the people of these islands in the way that we will want to in the future years and the generations to come.
Honorable Akira Mizik told Newswatch that she was at the conference all day long, soaking up all she could about the Premier's delivery unit, and thinks that it's a great initiative for the people of the TCI.
Well, I'm very excited that we are now here at a stage where we could develop the delivery unit for Turks and Caicos Islands government. The reason why this is so important is this government has big, bold vision and ideas, and we are grateful to the support that we have in the public service in bringing about these ideas and delivering on the government's mandate and projects. But the challenge that is experienced is that the everyday workers in the ministry, whether it's the permanent secretary, the deputy secretary, are overwhelmed with their day-to-day work, that it impinges on the ability to focus on the specific projects. And so the delivery unit provides an opportunity for that drill-down focus on 10 key ideas and initiatives that the administration will bring about for the people of these islands in a streamlined, structured way to the benefit of not only us as ministers, but for the entire Turks and Caicos Islands.
As this was the first step on the implementation in the creation of the delivery unit, Honorable Mizik said that she looks forward to its success.
I look forward to working with Justin Ram and Associates on the development for our ministry, specifically the Ministry of Physical Planning and Infrastructure Development, which we have the housing, policy and component, major piece of work that we are seeking to deliver for the people of these islands, and I'm glad it made one of the top 10 priorities, and so we'll be working feverishly over the next few months with them to bring about an effective and life-changing policy and program for the Turks and Caicos Islands. So I'm really excited.
The Sandals Foundation has launched a new composting initiative in hopes of strengthening food security and improving solid waste management. Newswatch obtained an interview from the Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Josephine Connolly, at the launch. Take a look.
On Tuesday, July 12, 2022, at 10 a.m., the Sandals Foundation held a launch for the Compost and Grow program at the Beaches Resort. Sandals partnered with 16 schools across the nation. At the program, they offered compost training for farmers and students in order to teach them about compost production. Honorable Josephine Connolly, Minister of Tourism and Agriculture, was a speaker at the event, and Newswatch got the chance to interview Honorable Connolly afterward. Honorable Josephine Connolly stated that she was very happy with the collaborative efforts of the ministry and Sandals Foundation.
I am very, very happy to see that Sandals Foundation has decided to partner with the Ministry of Agriculture. I believe in collaboration. Collaboration is key, and the Sandals is always willing to step up to the plate. And I'm very happy to see so many farmers here today, farmers and school children. So I think this is a very good initiative for us here in the Turks and Caicos Islands, because part of my government mandate is about food security.
Honorable Connolly then went on to say that she hopes that everyone comes out to the Q-Town Farmers Market, opening on Saturday, July 23rd.
And before I leave, I want to invite each and every one of you who are listening to me to please come and support the opening of the first farmers market in Q-Town on the 23rd of July. So that's next Saturday. So please come down, and I look forward to seeing you all there also.
The minister stated that in order to reach a state of sustainability within the country, we need all hands on deck.
We need everybody, all hands on deck. And if we work together as a team, we can accomplish sustainability.
Honorable Connolly confirmed that the ministry will be investing in the appropriate machinery for the initiative.
Yes, we will. As I said, part of my government's mandate is to make sure that food on the table, and whatever mechanisms we need to put in place, we will do just that.
When asked about how she believes the public reaction to the program will go, Honorable Connolly stated that the community would be happy to see something of this nature.
During the pandemic, a lot of people got involved in backyard farming. So I know the community will be happy to see something of this nature.
Honorable Connolly was then asked if she believes that the island's youth would come out to support the farmers market.
Of course. You heard from the Minister of Education this morning. They have 16 schools are involved in the farmers, and they're all young people. So, of course, we have young farmers who are very much interested in farming. They're coming into the department and collecting their seedlings, and they've already started their own little farm in their backyard.
The minister also shared with Newswatch some of the crops grown right here in the Turks and Caicos.
We have coconuts. You heard Mr. Courtney talking about sapodillies and papaya and figs and cherries and even oranges, grapefruit. We have it all here.
In her final remarks, Honorable Connolly extended her thanks to everyone who came out to the launch.
I just want to finally say thanks to all the farmers who came over here today. Thanks to the schools for allowing the children to come out to be a part of this great initiative. And a big thanks to Sandals Foundation for a job well done.
For PTV Newswatch, I'm Khalees Williams.
It's time for a quick break. More Newswatch when we return.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
Welcome back to Newswatch. The Caribbean Development Bank has taken the case for its Vulnerability and Resilience Measurement Framework to the United Nations. Details in this report.
The Caribbean Development Bank has taken the case for its Vulnerability and Resilience Measurement Framework to the United Nations, proposing that its system is the best option for determining access to affordable finance for small states, where sustainable development efforts continue to be derailed by exogenous shocks, including volatility in international markets, natural hazards, health crises, and geopolitical disturbances. The bank's president, Dr. Hedgenas Jean Leon, addressed the UN High-Level Political Forum on Sustainable Development at the UN headquarters in New York on July 11th, where he proposed the adoption of a framework currently being developed by the CDB. This framework utilizes the measurement of a country's internal resilience capacity, combined with the bank's recovery duration adjuster tool to underpin access to affordable finance. The framework would provide a more equitable system for vulnerable small states currently disadvantaged by existing metrics, which use gross national income to determine access to concessional support. In outlining the need for a CDB framework, Dr. Leon said that many developing countries, especially small island developing states, continue to struggle with the increasing frequency of economic, environmental, and socio-political shocks. In the Caribbean, for instance, he says the Caribbean faces significant legacy structural weaknesses that have been amplified by the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, the impact of climate change, and the fallout from the Russia-Ukraine war. These challenges have ruined productive activities, disrupted educational services, widened income and gender inequalities, and heightened food and energy insecurity as supply chains face major disruptions. He told the UN heads that Caribbean countries remain among the most vulnerable and least resilient in the world, making the recovery from shocks of long duration. This combined cocktail, resulting in low competitiveness and productivity, has reduced the scope for the region to realistically achieve many of its sustainable development goals by 2030. Dr. Leon explained that the proposed new metric captures the structural and vulnerability factors constraining growth and development in a country pre-shock. Then the adjuster evaluates the magnitude, impact, and persistence of effects once a shock occurs. The framework then calculates the nature and level of finance required to recover from the shock and put the country on a growth path. The CDB president says this framework can provide an easily understood dashboard for gauging the resilience capacity of countries, low, medium, and high, and thereby eligibility to development or concessional finance that will depend on need and resilience capacity and less on past income levels. He urged the UN Forum to take the framework forward so that they could guarantee the sustainable livelihoods of the peoples of all their respective regions. For PTV News Watch, I'm Delana Als.
The Ministry of Health is investigating a suspected case of monkeypox in the islands, and residents are being urged to exercise caution.
Earlier today, the Ministry of Health advised that they are monitoring a suspected case of monkeypox in the country. The individual is under the care of medical professionals and has since been quarantined. The ministry says this action is taken out of an abundance of caution and is part of the national surveillance systems in response to the spread of monkeypox in some parts of the world. They say it is unlikely the suspected individual has the disease. However, they will remain in quarantine until the outcome of tests conducted are received. The ministry is urging public and private partners to be unceasingly vigilant and follow the established reporting protocols for detection of monkeypox and other communicable diseases. Symptoms of monkeypox include rash with blisters on face, hands, feet, body, eyes, mouth, or genitals, fever, swollen lymph nodes, headaches, muscle and backaches, and low energy. You can catch monkeypox through skin-to-skin contact, face-to-face contact, mouth-to-skin contact, including sexual contact, and touching infected bedding, towels, clothing, or objects. Protect yourself from monkeypox in the following ways: clean hands, objects, surfaces, beddings, towels, and clothes regularly. Wear a mask if you can't avoid close contact, and when handling bedding, towels, and clothes. And ask people if they have symptoms before you have close contact. Using condoms may not prevent monkeypox spreading during sexual contact, but can prevent other sexually transmitted infections. The ministry is advising anyone, if they think they may have contracted monkeypox, to get advice from a health worker. Isolate at home if possible. Protect others by avoiding close contact with them. Wear a mask and avoid touching others if you need to have close contact. For PTV News Watch, I'm Delana Isles.
So many interesting stories have emerged this week, but here's another one that made this edition of The Real News.
Our stillborn rate is probably less than 1%, right? Most of our deliveries take place in our Providenciales facility, but our perinatal death rate and our stillbirth is very low, comparatively within the region also.
That was CEO of IntraHealth Canada and TCI Hospitals, Dr. Denise Brathwaite-Tennant, sharing that the country's stillborn and perinatal death rates are fairly low compared to the number of births recorded for a certain period.
And what I mentioned to you is that I believe Provo facility had 470, and maybe in March ending 2021, in March 2022, it was 440.
Officials say their obstetrics unit accounts for about half of their inpatient services at the hospital.
The key drivers for admissions to the inpatient unit is obstetrics and gynecology. So it's very fertile here in the Providenciales by those numbers. Admissions, if the percentage-wise, 45 to 50% of our admissions in the inpatient unit are to obstetrics.
It was also revealed that the average age of expecting mothers in recent times is between 30s to early 40s, which means that the rate of teenage pregnancy has decreased significantly year over year.
Don't touch that remote. We'll be right back. Coming up next is your weather forecast.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
Here at People's Television, we're more than just your leading news and entertainment services. We are
spreading the gospel.
We are breaking barriers.
We are preserving the culture. Each one, teach one.
We are committed to excellence.
We're creating change.
We are creating memories.
We are the future.
I am PTV.
I am PTV. I am PTV.
I am PTV.
We are PTV.
We are continuing the legacy. We are PTV.
Welcome back to Newswatch. Here's the latest in your weather forecast.
For the nation's capital, Grand Turk, on Friday, high 84, low 80, winds east at 20 to 30 miles per hour. For South Caicos, isolated showers, high 84, low 80, winds east at 20 to 30 miles per hour. For North and Middle Caicos, sunshine and mixed clouds, high 85, low 80, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. For Parrot and Pine Key, partly cloudy skies, high 85, low 80, winds east-southeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. And on Providenciales, partly cloudy skies, high 85, low 80, winds east-southeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Here's your sunrise and sunset. Sunrise, 6:16 a.m., sunset, 7:36 p.m. Now for your high and low tides. High tide 9:40 a.m., 10:05 p.m. Low tide 3:35 a.m., 3:43 p.m. And for your hurricane outlook, for the North Atlantic, Caribbean Sea, and the Gulf of Mexico, tropical cyclone formation is not expected during the next 5 days. And that's it for your weather forecast and hurricane outlook.
And that brings us to the end of this edition of The Real News. I hate to leave you so soon, but of course, you can join us right back here every weekday at 6:30 p.m. and tap into our social media platforms at www.ptv8tci.com. I'm Erica Penales, keeping you informed, updated, and affiliated. Until next time.